Alright guys, so it looks like our racing seats actually come in. So we got a box to unbox. So let's go ahead and unbox this box. Make sure you comment down below how many O's I just said. Let's go ahead and jump right. Let's use this knife to open this box. Let's go ahead and continue. This is the moment of truth. Now let's remove the wrapping. Alright, so now that we've got them all unpacked, packaged, they look great. Now, there's a little bit of imperfections on the sewing up there, but that's fine by me. As long as they last, I'll be happy with it. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a closer look at these bad boys. Now, upon further inspection, this thing looks really good. Both of them do, actually. Now, there's this protective filament to protect the fiberglass underneath, but other than that, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with the purchase. It only cost around $360. Links will be down in the description below. Now, when I was talking about the little sewing imperfections, this is what I mean. There's a little imperfection there, which may end up pulling out some of the threads right there, and maybe even losing some of the letters. But this will probably be the passenger seat, because if it's the passenger seat, it's going to be less used, whereas the driver's seat's going to be more used. The best out of these two will become the driver and then the passenger. Now, that's enough for looks. Let's see how they fit. Alright, so I fit really good in them. Didn't really put that on camera, but anyways, looks great. So let's go ahead and take these over by the car, where we need to remove our other seats as well. So let's go ahead and continue to the car. Now, in this episode on the Super Stang, we're going to be jumping back onto the interior as we did in part 1. This is part 2 of the interior series, and we've got ourselves some racing seats as you've seen earlier. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and start off by removing these old seats and putting in the racing seats. So let's go ahead and continue. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and jump onto this passenger side and remove this seat and replace it with the racing seat. So let's go ahead and continue. And just like this. Now that we got the seat out, we're going to go ahead and just do a quick little cleanup right here and get it all cleaned up so we can mount our seats. And it looks like it's going to be able to mount right up to the factory harness, or the factory sliding mechanism, so that'll be really good. So let's go ahead, remove all this trash and clean it all up, and we'll continue from there. Alright guys, so it is a day later. Actually, it's been a couple days. It's actually almost been a week since I last jumped onto the interior. But what I was noticing in that time period is that this seat back here, you can't really see it because the way the window reflects, but this driver's seat right here is at an angle. It's actually leaning in towards the door a lot more than the passenger one. But the thing is if we zoom down right here, there are two bolts right there of adjustability, so you can lower it and then that would bring it more towards the door, or you can lift it up, which is what we're gonna do to get it further from the door. So that should work as well. I just woke up, so my voice isn't very good, but anyways, let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright guys, so we got that leveled out by just using those two bolts right down there, and that worked really good. And now it is actually about perfectly level with the the passenger seat on the other side. But what I'm going to jump onto next is this mess. There's a mess everywhere. If you look, there's a mess. So anyways, we need to go ahead and clean out that back seat, clean out all of this, and get this thing as clean as we can, so that way it's just easier to work in and it just looks a little bit better. But anyways, let's go ahead, clean it all up, take care of what we don't need, throw away what we don't need, and then we'll probably jump onto the dash because we got something right here that we need to decide what we're doing. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue into time-lapse mode. Alright guys, we got this totally cleaned up. There's no mess, and no mess. So it's a totally new interior. It totally feels different, looks different, it's just totally different. Now originally I was going to remove the back seat, but I'm not sure if I'm going to remove the back seat or not. More room for more people. And anyways, now we're going to go ahead and jump onto this little speaker right here. I said we might be jumping on the dash, probably not in this episode. We're going to be jumping onto this little speaker right here. And we got this thing we printed, which will not work. I'll tell you in a minute why. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and mount it up, plug it in, and hopefully it'll work. So fingers crossed, let's jump right in. Alright guys, so we're here in the workshop and we got the speaker right here, and here is the problem with this. Now look at it for a minute, and that's not straight at all. Now this thing has sat out in the sun and has actually deformed a ton. Now for an example, I got another one that's actually the right size printed, and there's just a minute, a big size difference, 1/4 inch there on the top. This is flush on the bottom, or even if you really want, I can spread it all out. You just chrome everywhere. But anyways, we decided to paint it chrome. I don't know how good it's gonna look. We may paint it black in the future, but we need to go ahead, mount this underneath this, as well as mount the cover that sadly got scraped up because it fell off my workspace, sadly, but it's not too noticeable. But anyways, we'll mount that on top of that and we'll get the whole thing mounted. So that's really exciting. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so we got it all mounted up actually, and the speaker is on there, but it's kind of off-centered. But the good thing is it's off-centered to the bottom and to this corner, which will always be like this. It'll never be fully flat-faced on, so you can never see it just straight on. So it'll be fine. And besides, the whole bottom just kind of is a little bit extra, which I am totally fine with. So let's go ahead, plug this in, and mount it on the car and see if it works. Let's go ahead and continue. Alright guys, we got it all mounted and it looks really good right in there. It clears everything when it opens and closes. So now it's time to actually test it. But there is a problem where when I turn the key, it does not want to get power. And the problem is the two battery terminal connectors are actually messed up. So we need to fix those as well. So we'll go ahead and fix those real quick, and then we'll test the speaker system and see if it works. Let's go ahead and continue. Alright guys, we went ahead and got this all figured out. It turns out it might just be the battery. We're gonna go ahead and charge it and test it after that, but it did stay on for a little bit. We had a little bit of juice, and the speaker does work, which is great because it looks good and I don't really want to mess with it. So anyways, this is gonna be a wrap for today's video. We kind of got a little bit or a lot done, but kind of also a little bit, so it's kind of gonna be a short or long video. This took 3 weeks to make, and that was mostly like a week and a half of doing nothing. So anyways, in the next episode, we're gonna go ahead and actually trim out around there and then fix up that right there, maybe with some wood or something, and finish off this interior. So the next episode should be the last episode on the interior. It may take a little while because I gotta order a steering wheel, I gotta order some custom stuff, and then we'll get that thing done. But off camera, I'm gonna hopefully get all of this body work done by the time that next video is out. It is a lot of work. Body working is not easy. The front's almost done. From here basically to the window is basically done, top and bottom, so that's good. And then also we have a hood scoop right there, hood scoop right there. That's gonna go right there. That'll be a video for itself, just kind of a how-to video to help you align it and figure it out and stuff like that. But anyways, there's also another problem back here that we're also gonna fix off camera, and that's that this bed liner stuff turned gray. Now, it was supposed to stay black, but it turned gray, so we're gonna paint over it black, and hopefully it'll stay black after that. But anyways, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to drop a like as well as a sub, because just like that, this video is over, and I'm out.